aspect of it, of them deporting illegal immigrants? Do you think they're doing a good job?
No. I think
No,
that they're
you don't.
detaining U.S. citizens for having accents. I think they're racially profiling U.S. citizens. I think they're not using judicial warrants in order to be able to search and seize in all circumstance. I think they expanded expedited removal, which is deporting people without due process rights. I think they're brutalizing people. Right now, they have specifically in their detention, his name is Stephen, I think his last name is Tendo, Stephen Tendo. You should look into him specifically. He was tortured in the country that he came from, and his asylum claim was fucking denied. It should not have been denied, and the Trump administration has him in detention and is thinking of sending him back to the country that he was brutally tortured in. Okay?
Okay.
I don't think that should happen. I think that they should specifically, given that there's no evidence that they've committed a criminal act or anything like that, they should be allowed to stay in our country. I think that should apply for asylum. It's inhumane to send someone back to a country where they've been brutally tortured in that country.
Okay. So I see your position on this. I'd like to start off first with a question. This is how I like to start this point of the debate. If somebody broke into your house, what would be your first course of action?
Someone broke into my house?
Yes.
To notify officers or the police? Or try to find something to defend myself?
So when they break into our country and we call our police on them, the immigration
Can I
services,
clarify? I think that's a false equivalence because I don't think that someone
no,
entering
it's
our
not.
country
It's
is viewed. Let me explain why. I don't think someone entering our country is viewed, or entering the general area that we're in is viewed the same way as entering your personal space. For example, right, if someone enters my state, right, without a border restriction, does that mean that they should be able to enter my personal house without a restriction?
What? Certainly not.
Like, people from Nevada are able to
Certainly
come into
not.
California without a border restriction. Are they able to come into my personal house without a border restriction? No. So just because there's not a border that restricts a certain person from coming into the general area that you're in does not mean that they're somehow allowed into your personal space. Plus, right, I think that we should deport people who have committed violent crimes and bad crimes, right? And I think we should give it a pathway to citizenship to undocumented immigrants who are in the country who have not committed a violent crime or bad crime. And I think that we should make the legal process of immigration go significantly quicker and accept more people through legal immigration into our country.
I agree with adding more legal immigrants into the country, but the point is you're waiting for them to come here and commit crimes before you do anything about it. And by the way, coming here illegally,
undocumented immigrants are less likely to commit violent crime, drug crime, property crime in the country compared to national born U.S. citizens. So if you're okay with not banning tourism, and tourists are more likely proportionally to commit crime, then you should probably say that you should be willing to ban tourism, right? If that's your argument. Which clearly
I have
it's
a
not your
question,
argument.
Parker. Is it avoidable? Are all those crimes avoidable by not letting them in?
The same thing is with tourism. You could ban tourism. That's avoidable.
You're not answering my question. Yes or no?
Yes, it is avoidable in the same way that's avoidable to you could, insofar as that you could ban tourism.
So the point, that tourism is illegal, but
no, it's not. Tourism is not illegal.
I'm not
saying
illegal.
terrorism.
Yeah, no, I said tourism is legal.
Yeah, it's legal.
But
you understand that if you made it illegal, you could prevent people from committing crimes who are tourists.
I mean,
it is preventable. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, that is preventable. But the whole point you're making of is we don't have any background checks on these people whatsoever. They're coming into our country. We don't know what they're doing here.
My pathway ensures more vetting because it ensures that the people who are already in the country undocumented have an incentive to go through the legal process. And then by making the legal process go quicker, it incentivizes more people to go through said vetting process. So actually, more people will go through the vetting process under my position comparative to yours.
Well, there's also aspects of human TRA, you know what, they have to look at in this situation as well, right? I actually heard a story.
Yeah, that, you know how Trump is not releasing the Epstein files, and how he's actively defending people from being held accountable for committing the said crimes that you're referencing right now.
You're pivoting.
He's violating the law and not releasing these files.
That you're pivoting. We're not talking about the Epstein files. We're talking about immigration services.
You said you brought up trafficking. Right, so I'm referencing the trafficking that the Trump administration is preventing from being acknowledged in the public.
But we're talking about ICE right now. We're talking about them coming here illegally.
Did you just bring up trafficking? You just said it.
I did bring up trafficking.
Yeah, so then I referenced how the Trump administration is literally protecting traffickers.
Trafficking comes over the border. That's how you stop that.
Wait, hold up. You understand that trafficking happened within the country as well, specifically by people like Jeffrey Epstein, who is Donald Trump's best buddy for 15 years. right? And Donald Trump's all over the Epstein files, right? And he's protecting PDFs in the Epstein files who traffic children specifically by not releasing all of the Epstein files. And even they're redacting people who have committed crimes within the Epstein files. There are people who are literally thinking, or one person where Epstein thanked them for the torture video, right? And their name is redacted. We can point to situations where they talked about how there was a naughty little girl, right? The littlest girl was a little naughty, right? That's what they said, and their name is redacted. Explain to me why the Trump administration is redacting their names and their emails.
I have no idea why they were redacting their names or emails. But once again, let's get back to the debate.
That sounds to me like
about.
right now that they're protecting people who have committed trafficking. So tell me why you think the Trump administration is addressing trafficking to a greater extent when they're actively preventing the release of the Epstein files when they're legally mandated to do so.
Whoa. Hold up. Are you saying that based off the fact that there was in the Epstein files human trafficking that we shouldn't... Well, am I allowed to say that?
Yes.
Okay. Are you saying from the fact that since it happened in the Epstein files, we don't have to worry about it to the degree of them coming over the border, which is preventable?
No, wait, I actually do think that we need to address that, and I think that we address it to a greater extent when we make the legal process go quicker and we provide a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants who have not committed a violent crime or bad crime. Because think of all the people that had to go through the system and were trafficked through the system because the fact that they're trying to make it into this country in the legal process takes way too long. So if you make the legal process go significantly quicker, that then defunds all of the different organizations that profited off of trafficking people across the border.
Do you think human traffickers are also going to try to apply for that as well?
I think that you can prevent that specifically through the context of the vetting process, where there is a vetting process through legal immigration. And by the way, just letting you know, they can do that through the context of tourism already.
Why do you keep going to tourism specifically?
Because I'm showing you the implications of your perspectives and the other things that are related to it. And I'm sorry that it's hard for you to understand.
Oh, you're hurting my feelings. Please stop.
Clearly, you're a snowflake, right?
Yeah, you got me. Oh, sorry, my feelings got a little hurt. But
speaking of which, I'll hurt them a little bit more. Paige, thank you so much for the $5. Of course, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Literally, they won't allow his diabetic medication right into it for him to be able to get access to it. It's absolutely fucking insane. I looked into that. There's an AP News article. People should look up into that. Stephen Tendo, right, whose asylum process got denied for no fucking reason, bullshit. And the Trump administration currently has him in detention and won't allow for him to get his diabetes medication. It's fucking insane. Maureen, thank you so much for the Galaxy. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Benjamin, thank you for the $10 as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I know, it's fucking wildly absurd. Thank you so much. Kimberly as well. Thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's so funny. Courtney, thank you for the 70 cents as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Jody, thank you for the $5. Thank you. Manea, thank you so much for the $1. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Totally agree. Totally see you. I see what you mean. I totally agree. And that's something you didn't take into account. Jordan, thank you for the $2. Jolene, thank you for the $2 as well. Barbara, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. He said, as a mom, I want to send this idiot to his room. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Keep some W's for Barbara in the comment section. Aaron, thank you for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Give me some W's for them in the comment section. Based, thank you. Cecilia, thank you so much for the $10 as well. Thank you very much. Give me some W's for them in the comment section. I really appreciate it. I have some people to thank over on YouTube as well, and then we're going to go on and continue on with the conversation. Again, if you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. It'll help get out to more people. Nicholas, thank you for the $20. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Give me some W's for them in the comment section as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Nicholas. Thank you. Thank you so much. The blessed one, thank you for the $2. Mason, thank you for the $5. Javen, thank you for the $5 as well. Rodney, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Totally agree. Water, thank you for the $10 as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'll have to see. I'll have to look into that. Ranger, thank you for the $5 as well. Morgan, thank you for the $5. Fina, thank you so much for the $2. Mason, thank you for the $5 as well. Thank you. I think I'm fully caught up. Alrighty. Continue with what you were saying.
What were we on specifically? All I know is that you hurt my feelings and then read donations.
Yeah, I'm sorry I hurt your feelings, buddy.
It's okay. It's okay. Really, it's okay. But what were we on specifically?
I don't remember. Just go back to, you were talking about immigration, I think.
Oh, true. Immigration. Well, I think, that's what we were talking about. We're talking about human trafficking. So, specifically with that, ICE has also recovered up to, I believe it was 1,400 individuals who were being trafficked. So with that, that's 1,400 people who we prevented from having harm. And that's preventable too, because we were able to stop them when they came here illegally.
Okay. You know that we were doing that under the Biden administration as well.
Correct, but that's still immigration services, isn't it?
Okay, so?
Do you support ICE under Biden?
I don't support ICE. I support abolishing ICE. I support specifically a border enforcement policy that exists, but I think it should be upheld to change the policy through the legislative branch rather than allowing for the executive to have too much power.
Okay. I think I understand your standpoint on it.
And I want them to go after people who have committed violent crimes and bad crimes, like mostly.
Okay. Did you know actually in Minnesota, 4,000
Careful,
arrests
please.
have been made
Just
that
stay
had to
away
do
from
with what do you call it? Crimes such as like stealing, murder, and the big R word.
Wait, repeat what you just said?
There have been 4,000 arrests in Minnesota that had to do with murder, the big R word, and stealing, that kind of jazz. And that was all through ICE.
You.
Okay, I don't know what your point is. Like, I'm not saying I disagree with going after people who commit the worst of worst crimes. I just think that they don't have an ability to do so to a greater extent because of how the Trump administration is acting in terms of murdering U.S. citizens in broad daylight. That's obviously decreasing trust amongst border enforcement agencies specifically and the public, which is leading to these types of circumstances which will prevent that. But I would love to see the source that you have for 4,000.
You just drank it
Would
all.
you like to provide that?
Give me one
You
moment.
said that. Emma.
As well as Linda, thank you so much for the $50. Thank you so much on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much. They said I'm behind in the VOD, but the Minnesota guy is literally lying about the coverage. I did a simple Google search and found that a 19-minute ABC video from September 2022, an NBC video from 2022, and a Fox 9 video from 2023. Get a grip, honestly. Thank you so much, Linda. I really appreciate it. Exactly my point. Thank you so much. As well as Claudia, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Of course. Thank you so much. And Hanka, thank you so much for the purchase of the $1. Thank you so much. Of course, I really appreciate it. Don't worry about that. Thank you so much for just being here. Thank you. And for the people asking, yes, I did get a haircut. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I found two sources for you. You can use U.S. Immigration Services and Customs or the White House. Back up.
What's the
For the
title?
4,000 arrests that were made because they were all illegal aliens.
What's the
which they
title?
prevented.
You
What's
said
the
it was people
title?
who committed murder, grape, and like assault and stuff. Like every single person. Tom, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. They said Wally West over Barry Allen. Okay, maybe in terms of speed, it's based on the comics, Wally West is technically faster than Barry Allen, but because of the fact that Barry Allen, you know, especially recently, like the stories, like I don't know, I feel like that's it's debatable. Thank you for the amazing, as well as Joe. Thank you for the galaxy.
It was under U.S. Immigration and Customs. It said 4,000 criminal, illegal aliens, murderers, big R word,
Yeah,
gang.
what's the title?
It's under Facebook. It's under their Facebook page.
Dude, I need an actual source, not a Facebook account. Terrence, thank you
It's
for the
US
$5 as well.
Immigration
Thank you so
Customs.
much. I appreciate it. Megaroni, thank you for the $10 as well. Thank you so much.
Is U.S. Immigration and Customs not a source?
Dude, I need like an actual. Wait, is it just them claiming it on Facebook? Is that what it is?
It is claiming it on Facebook, but it's also
No,
under the
Can,
White.
can you give me like a website specifically that cites this or sources this, not Facebook?
Give me one moment.
Do you typically get your Facebook from news from Facebook?
I do not. I was actually scrolling today and I saw it.
Where do you typically get your news from?
Yeah, believe it or not, you and Dean are some of my big ones, but I also do some of my own research as well.
Like where? What do you research into?
Well, I've looked at the DOJ. I've
Even if it's
looked
just
at
land with you.
obviously
you want
immigration,
something.
customs. I look at some of the stuff the White House puts out, but I know that could be heavily biased, so I don't take that to a degree as I do other sources. Per se.
What other sources? What other sources do you look at? Can you give me an example?
You know, I don't really memorize source names. It's just in my computer
You don't know any
history.
other sources, but you've looked at the White House and Parker and Dean on TikTok, okay? So, by the way, you don't take into account what Parker and Dean say because of the fact that you listen to the White House over what Parker and Dean say, right? And that's clearly
I
obvious.
just said I
your
don't look at
only
them as a
basis
reliable
for
source.
where he gets his information from is literally what the Trump administration says.
I literally said I don't really consider them to be an extremely.
So then where else do you get your
source.
information from? Social
As
media?
I
Is
just
that it?
said, no, I do not use social media for news because it's obviously.
You just said you
biased, 'cause
did. You
TikTok
just
is
said that you look at
left-leaning.
my information here for news. Which, by the way, you can do, taking into account that plus other types of media sources. That's not completely irrelevant in terms of looking at information, but there has to be more than just me, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so who else?
You know, I don't have my computer in front of me once again, which oh my gosh, that voice crack was crazy. But which I use to research my politics.
Okay, you can't remember anything off the top of your head?
Of course not. I don't do politics for a living.
Dude, you don't have to know that to know where you get your media from. This is where you look at your media. So to me, it sounds like
Oh,
you
I look
don't.
at it online.
To me, it sounds like you just scroll on like Twitter or something.
You mean X?
I call it Twitter.
I agree, but no, I don't use I don't actually own a Twitter account at all. But yeah, my sources I don't have on panned, but I do my research if that makes sense. I'm not obsessed with Dean chat. It's not true.
Rodney, by the way, I did watch it. But yeah, it doesn't seem like you really have much to talk about much further. Is there anything Trump could do?
They only found male DNA. It wasn't Trump-specific DNA.
Trump didn't give up his DNA within multiple years
Correct.
allotted, right, to be able to test it against his DNA. So
Correct.
why didn't Donald Trump do that after multiple years when he said he never met her, and it would have proven that he wasn't at the scene of the crime if it wasn't his DNA?
Well, everybody has their reasons behind why they don't do specific things. But it was probably afraid of
Everybody has their
political
reason.
prosecution or something like that.
You mean they're able to test his DNA to show that he's at the scene of the crime?
Everyone has the reason to not show why they're not a
What?
fucking rapist.
How is that political persecution, or to specifically have his DNA tested against the DNA on that dress? If she never met him, how would she have his DNA?
You know, if there's allegations like that
Probably 'cause
against
he didn't want them to make
me, I
it
would
a bullshit type thing.
definitely make
Have
sure
to
I
work
gave
with
my
it like
fucking
that.
DNA.
What? What does that even mean?
Okay, I might not be saying this in the correct way. The fact that they found male DNA that isn't exactly Donald Trump's proves what
Wait,
doesn't prove.
it was never clarified who it was because Donald Trump didn't give
exactly.
up his DNA.
So it wasn't.
Wait, by the way,
proved who
if
it was.
someone claimed that you assaulted them and you have never met them in your life, and they claim that they have a dress that has your DNA on it, right? Would you specifically give up your DNA to have it tested against that to prove that you weren't there?
Well, they could have tampered with evidence and made it seem like it was him when it was not. That's not.
So you're saying that they got his DNA and then they put it on the dress?
No, but they could have.
Okay, there's
Well,
no
actually,
evidence
no,
of
no,
that.
no,
There's
no,
no
I take
basis
that
and
back.
reason
No,
for
no,
that.
no, no, no,
If
no, no,
if
take
she
it
never
back.
met him, she wouldn't be able to do that. You can't just get people's DNA. That's not how it works.
But he was afraid of giving them the DNA
Wait. So by the way,
because
let
they
me.
didn't
If,
want him to
if
mess
someone,
with it or
wait,
anything
wait.
like that.
If I claim this about you right now, you've never met me before in real life. Would you, if I claim that I had this dress that had your DNA on it, would you specifically prove, or would you say that, would you have your DNA tested against it to show that it wasn't yours?
No.
You wouldn't do that? Are you fucking kidding me? I've never met you in my life. Why wouldn't you do
Correct.
that, you dumbass?
Well, because do you have any proof taking me to the crime? Why do I need to no?
Wait, if you're in
Why
the
do I need to
context
give
of a
you
court,
DNA
wait, by the way,
evidence
if you
we've never
if you
met
were
in
in
real
the
life?
listen, if you were in the context of a court case already, why wouldn't you do that?
Okay, one, I don't want the government to have my DNA on standby. That way they can use it for other things.
This
and
isn't
try
the
me for
government
other
having your
crimes I
DNA.
didn't
This is
commit.
a civil court, dude. The civil court specifically does not maintain your DNA within the context of a criminal case. By the way, it's mandated in criminal cases. And they don't keep your DNA. They just test it in this context. It's not like the government continues to have it for a record or something. There's no source for that.
Yeah. But don't you think the timing of when she came out about it was
Can you,
awfully
wait, can you
specific?
acknowledge my point that you specifically would give up your DNA to show?
I don't think I would. I don't think I'd give up my DNA.
Really? I think you're being dishonest right now.
I don't think I am. And I have my reasons behind
I think
it.
you're being very dishonest. Why wouldn't you do
I'm
that? in
not
this
being
scenario?
dishonest. Just because my point differs from yours doesn't mean I'm being
If you
dishonest.
could prove that you weren't at the scene of the crime and objectively get yourself done with the entire court process, why wouldn't you do that? Especially if it affects your reputation. Like Donald Trump running for president, he cares so much about his reputation. His ego is so massive. Like you understand that if he feels like he can literally disprove something, he would do it immediately.
So the point is, if we've never met, you also have literally nothing tying me to the scene of the crime. You don't have any video evidence. You don't have anything to prove I was anywhere near there.
Yeah, so again, the point I'm trying to mention is that you know that you've never met me before. They couldn't possibly have
Correct.
his DNA. Obviously, given that you're innocent, you would give up your DNA. Given that he didn't give up his DNA, it makes him look guilty, right?
No, not. I don't understand how you're
Well,
getting
then you're
this from.
stupid. In gullible is written on the
Oh,
ceiling.
no,
Hey, dude,
no,
look up.
the
Gullible
name
is written on
calling.
the ceiling.
Oh, sorry,
Hey,
I hurt my
what?
feelings again. Continue.
I feel like they just be saying
Good,
anything.
I'm glad that I did.
Dude, not cool, man. Not cool.
Well, I thought that was pretty cool. Brooke, by the way, thank you so much for the $50 on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you so much for hopefully this is enough for a new elevation pen. It's definitely needed for dealing with these guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Can we some W's for Brooke in the comment section right now for the
For a new
$50 on
elevation
YouTube Super
pin.
Chat. Thank you so much. Margaret, thank you so much for the $1. I really appreciate it. I'm so happy for you. That's amazing to hear. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Margaret. Monica as well. Thank you for the $10. And Denise, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. Alrighty, any last words, man?
Well, once again, I don't think he did it. And I think coming from a point that you think just because he didn't submit his DNA evidence, because he didn't want to.
Prince has been weird.
Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello?
Hey, Park. Hey.
Yeah, do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do. Well, kind of on the fence. You don't remember me?
Are you driving right now, by the way?
Yeah, I am. Well, no, I'm not driving, but I'm on the road. Yeah. Like I'm in the passenger seat.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're in a passenger seat. Okay, that makes sense. Alrighty, and
Yeah, I'm
you
not-
do support Donald Trump, or you say like you wouldn't vote for him anymore?
Well, I'm kind of on the fence. You remember me and you debated a couple nights ago?
You sound familiar. So this was recently then,
you,
right?
Yeah, it's recently. You debated a lot of people. I understand that.
Given that it was recently, I probably will end up going to the next person. Have I changed your mind at all?
You have.
Okay.
I looked at the two ICE agents. Remember me and you talked about that?
Mhm.
We talked about a lot of different things. The first one. When,
Bro, what are you talking about?
I can't remember the lady's name that the ICE
Renee
agent
Good.
shot. Yeah. I viewed that and I see what you're saying, and yeah, I would have jumped out of the way. I would not have just stood there, and been a victim of a being run over by a car. And then the second one, now that one I'm kind of on the fence about. That's what I kind of wanted to ask you about. He was. What do you think about him being like an instigator? Because I seen the video where he kicked an ICE agent's car before. And
Yeah, that was
everything.
11 days prior.
Well, this guy gotta do
And
this a
him
whole
doing that
different
11 days
instance. I
prior
feel
is
like
not
people keep
evidence
bringing
that he
that
should have
up,
been
but that's
treated
got
with that
something to do
level of
with him
violence
getting-
then.
No.
Right. Really, the point that
right
the point that's relevant in terms
I-
of whether or not they're justified in using lethal force is whether or not there's a reasonable fear of of serious imminent bodily harm and or death in the scenario. And if there's not, then there's not a standard to use lethal force. So then, like, really, there's no justification, especially because he was disarmed prior to the point in which it happened. Was he agitating like 11 days prior? Yes. But he was treated with less force in that scenario than he was in the scenario where he literally wasn't being agitating.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I am gonna go into the next person. I do appreciate you coming up though, because we did just talk recently. But I do appreciate you, man.
If you got just 1 second, I just wanted to just tell you one thing. I do agree with you on both of those, and I am looking into not supporting him at all. I mean, because there's different things that I have looked into, like, I mean, him telling people that he would date his daughter. I
Yeah.
mean, my goodness, I would never do that myself.
Mm-hmm.
And the pageant deal. I mean, come on, man. I mean, there's standards and there's different things that you need to do. I understand if you run a pageant or if you own a pageant, you know, you take it upon yourself to make sure that you're not put in that position to be known as that type of person. And if he is known as that type of person, then yeah, he's definitely not qualified to be the president of the United States. But also, I want to ask you something. One thing that I fully believe in, and I've always believed in this, is whoever is the commander in chief of this country should have served in some type of military in this country. What do you think
I
about
just
that?
I don't think that's reliable to rely on in every single circumstance. And for both circumstances, the VPs both served, but the presidents did not. So like,
Yeah.
I don't think that there'd be a qualifying difference between the two scenarios, other than like obviously we could point to. I'm pretty sure JD Vance had not as long of a service comparative to Tim Walz. So if you want to compare the length of service, but I don't see even the relevance to do that. They both served. I guess like there's no like point to be like, oh, one person served more than the other one or something like that, you know. So
No,
to me
I,
it seems like neither side would meet that criteria. So I guess it wouldn't be relevant to the how you view the election.
yeah, I just think that every president of the United States should, you know, have served in some form of military to be the commander in chief, to
Okay.
start a war or to do whatever they need to do. But
So how do you feel
anyway,
about the fact that Donald Trump dodged the draft on countless occasions?